Welcome back. On today's episode, we talk about the dangers of the Roger Corman Venice Studios, MTV Undressed, Desperate Housewives, Doubting Yourself, and of course, John Bon Jovi. Just a little bit of business before we start. There may be a curse word here or there in this episode, so please listen responsibly. Make sure to check out our website, theop.io, especially the breakdown where operators talk about everything that goes into the making of a shot, and read the musings for discussions about everything from quick tips to larger concepts behind operating. I may or may not take a couple of breaks during this episode, but I promise you none of them will be longer than 22 seconds. Finally, if you are enjoying the podcast, please follow us, like us, talk about us, and share us with your friends. So grab a beverage, sit back, and enjoy the op. Thanks for listening.
Lock it up, nice and quiet, and let's roll.
Rolling. Victor 30 Echo, take 2.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark.
And camera set. And action.
Hello and welcome back to The Op, the podcast where we talk about operating, the art of visual storytelling. My name is Dave Kamaitis. I'm your host, and we are here yet again from Panavision Woodland Hills, where they allow me to hang out in their theater because it just sounds amazing, and it's much better than my kitchen, although there's less to eat here, that's for sure. I have a great guest today, a friend, someone I've worked with quite a bit, someone I enjoy working with quite a bit. We're in the middle of a strike, someone that I hope to work again with quite a bit. Michele LaBrucherie, she is a first AD. And some of her credits, some of which I've worked on with her, Justified, Snowfall, American Crime Story, Ratched, Hollywood, American Horror Story, and a lot of other things. Michele, thank you for being here.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you.
You too. It's been a couple months now.
It's been a couple months now. For people listening in 2032, we're in the middle of the Writers Screen Actors strike of 2023, because I expect that there will be other strikes down the line. I was just actually mentioning to Michele, it's kind of weird, like talking to people. I think there's something, there's been something great about this in a weird way, because I think people are sort of like, oh yeah, I kind of miss this, like as opposed to I worked Monday through Friday and I'm talking to you on Sunday, and it's like, So tell me your story. How'd you get here?
I've been around for a long time.
No, you haven't.
I worked my way up. I started out as a wardrobe intern.
No way. That's why you dress so funky.
Yes.
In a good way.
I am obsessed with fashion and clothing.
Totally.
I will say that it is good for you when you're coming up in this business to do as many jobs as you can so that you get the respect and the knowledge to know what other people do.
Yeah, that's great.
I started out in costumes and I was like, oh my goodness, get me out of here. This is way too much work. Yeah. I'm literally killing myself and I can't do this.
But costumes, what were you doing in costumes?
I was 20... I think I was in my early 20s.
Did you go to school for this, or you just?
No,
okay.
I went to, I grew up in LA.
Yeah.
I'm a 5th generation Angelino.
Wow, you're one of them.
Yes, I'm one of them.
Wow.
There's not many of us.
I know.
I worked for Roger Corman.
I did as well. Down in Venice?
Down in Venice.
Where if someone lit a match, we would have all died instantly.
Yes.
That place was crazy, right?
Bananas.
My memory of it was just it was like corridors that just like went on to different sets, and it was insane.
There was like a warehouse, and then construction was outside.
Yeah.
And they were constantly sawing and making new sets.
Yeah, that's right.
You would be lucky to get a take, one take without a chainsaw or whatever saw.
100%.
The mill would be,
Do you remember some of the movies you worked on there?
Oh, so I did a TV show called The Black Scorpion. That was what I worked with him on.
I didn't even know they did TV shows.
They apparently did a movie about it, and then they decided to do a TV show. Mm-hmm. And I came in, and I worked for free for months and months and months. First time I was on set, I did a 24-hour day.
Oh, my gosh.
As a costume intern, and I was like, I can't do this. So I ended up going into production on the same show, and I met this wonderful guy. His name is Ruben, and unfortunately, I cannot remember his last name.
That's okay.
And it's going to kill me.
Yep.
And he was so nice, so unbelievably nice and kind, and he made it fun to be there. And
But he was like in the office or
no,
something?
he was
or-
my boss. He was the second AD.
He was the second AD. Okay, and you were a production
I was
assistant.
I was a PA.
Gotcha. Okay.
And this was so long ago that the walkie-talkies were literally the size of bricks that you would hang on your belt. None of us had headsets, so takes would be blown because people would be talking on the walkie if it was open, and it was just
Oh, wow.
chaos.
I'd forgotten about that. People didn't used to have headsets. I guess they just, you got used to turning your walkie off during a take?
You did.
Never even thought about
Which
that.
was crazy. I can't imagine doing that now.
Yeah, right.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, so I started there. I was there for probably, I don't even know, maybe 6 months. And then I got hooked up with MTV.
Oh,
And I started working on a show as a PA, as a set PA, called Undressed for MTV. And I got my brother, who is also in the business, a job as a PA. And we both started working as a PA on Undressed. And we shot that in Hollywood at the, I think it was Hollywood Center Stages, the one right in the middle of
yep. I know.
Hollywood.
I think they're now the red stages.
I
Those
think you're
ones?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so was this like a game show kind of thing?
No,
or
it was like a scripted soap opera for teens.
Oh, okay. I don't remember this. All right.
Yeah.
And then was this 1990s or?
And it was the late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
Like
All right.
it was early 2000
Yeah.
actually.
So this was like MTV was trying to break out into
Yes,
real
yes.
programming or whatever. Yeah.
I did that with my brother, and I did that for like 3 seasons.
Wow.
I got paid nothing, but I did it because I was on set. It's what I wanted to do. It's what I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was an actor and a model, and we used to go and do commercials.
I had no idea.
So we've sort of, my father was a producer, so we've sort of been in this business
Yeah.
forever.
Wait, do you have some of these commercials?
I do. I have a bunch of photos, actually.
Wait, do you have any of the actual commercials then?
I'm sure we could find them.
I'm going to bother you for that and put it and attach it to it. That's fantastic.
It was fun. I mean, I've been around the business since I was, I don't know, 6 or 7.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you were an actor in commercials then?
Yeah.
And
We did, we were like, I don't know if you ever remember that brand called Cherokee. I was some clothing brand in the like early 80s.
Wow.
We were like the Cherokee kids. When I say we, I mean my brother and myself. We were both involved.
Well, your brother John was also?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
was fun.
great.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
I have done so many different jobs in this business. I worked on a talk show. I worked in reality television when reality
All
television.
in production though?
All in production.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make money. I was trying to like live. PAs don't make any money. You make
Yeah.
I think I made like $400 a week or something. So, you'd work and the show would finish, but you'd make such little money that you'd have to like find the next job within like a week.
Although in fairness, rent was probably like
Rent was
$600
nothing.
a month or
Yes.
something like that. It's a
Yes.
little different than now.
Yes,
but
of
still.
course.
Yeah, and unfortunately, PAs still make nothing.
They still make nothing.
Yeah.
And then I remember going back to being on set completely, like on narrative television. I worked with Annie Berger,
Annie Berger, I know her name. Why do I know her name?
first AD.
She's the first AD. Is
Yeah.
she out of Chicago?
Yeah.
Is that Annie? Okay. Yeah.
And I did a TV movie called Helter Skelter, and that was the first time I met her.
Okay.
And I had a great time. Drew Rosenberg, who was the first AD, she's still around as well. She's a great first AD.
Oh, so Annie was the second?
Annie was the second.
Okay,
Annie
yeah.
had not gone up to being a first yet.
Gotcha.
And then I went from that show to Desperate Housewives.
Oh,
And I worked on Desperate Housewives as a PA for a couple of years.
yeah.
Worked with Annie again. I met Eva Longoria, who I've known for, I don't know, maybe it's now 20 years, 15 years since that happened, who I've still kept in touch with.
Yeah.
I went from Desperate Housewives to, where did I go? I went to CSI,
The original.
the original Las Vegas.
Okay.
CSI Las Vegas. That show basically changed my life.
Really?
Yep. I met a first AD. Her name is Stacy Murphy Gold.
Okay.
She is now UPM. She was a huge influence in my life. It was the first time I really saw somebody work so hard. She worked hard every single day and gave it 100% every day.
So she was the first AD, or did you say that?
She was the first AD.
The first AD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was just this really strong woman who didn't take shit from anybody, but she was really kind. She was really, really kind and respectful and let everybody do their job.
That's that's actually something, you remind me of that because it's hard to be a first AD who's, I don't want to use the word stern, but you sort of have to, you have to be a little bit of a bully and a strong arm sometimes, but you can do it in a way that's not like, I hate you.
Yeah, you have to be stern, but you can be fair.
Yeah.
There's like a happy medium between the two. You don't have to be a jerk. In fact, if you're a jerk, who wants to work with you?
That's exactly right.
Right? I mean, you can get people to do what you need them to do with kindness. You have a better chance of doing it with kindness than the opposite.
True. Very true.
So she really sort of taught me that,
Was it rare to see a woman first AD?
At that time,
then?
yes.
It was.
I saw Drew for when I did Helter Skelter. And then I had another first AD. Her name was Jeannie Caliendo, who did Desperate Housewives for a season. But there weren't a lot of women first ADs.
Before that, did you think, oh, I'm going to be a first AD? Or did you
I
think
knew that I wanted to direct.
Okay.
That is what I've known for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And I tried to figure out how to do that. Uh-huh. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to stay in production and I'm going to learn as much as I possibly can learn. And I'm going to apply it to directing when I get a chance to direct. Yeah. Essentially.
But you didn't really have your sights on being a first AD as part of that process. You were just like, I'm just going to get there.
No, I just wanted to move up.
As long as I keep moving forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always forward movement, always.
So it was working with her. What sort of made you go, maybe I'll become a first AD?
Working with Stacy, showed me that I could do it.
Yeah.
What's hard in our business is confidence. You get treated so badly a lot of the time by people that your confidence is shot. Right?
Yeah.
But you do get those people that sort of nurture you and teach you and show you how you can do it. Yeah. And that builds your confidence. And the more confidence you get, the better you become. The better you become, the higher you can rise.
Yep. No, it's weird because it's actually really simple, but it's really complicated at the same time.
For sure. Absolutely.
So did you eventually move up on CSI then? You said that.
So I came in. I think I came in season 8, as a PA.
Was Georgia Fox on that show?
Yes, I love her very much. She's an amazing human being.
I haven't seen her forever, but Georgia and I started ER on the same day, and we were both like 16 or whatever we were. So both of us were like huge eyes going, I can't believe we're on ER. And so we sort of bonded because we were both completely over our heads, essentially. Yep. She's wonderful.
She's a wonderful human being, for sure. I came to CSI. I knew that I wanted to move up. I knew that the only way I was going to move up is if I work hard. So I decided that if I'm going to be a PA, I am going to be the best PA that I possibly could be. And I'm going to learn as much as I can learn so that I can bring that to the next step of where I want to go. And I knew just from, working that, okay, PA, you can become an AD. When you become an AD, you have to move up the ranks, and then you can become a UPM, you can become a director, you can become a producer, you can do whatever you want.
So the path, basically.
The path. Yeah. I took the path.
Yep.
It was a long path, but I took it. I'm so very grateful that I took it because I got to learn everything. And I think that's like one of the most important things is, you have to be open, and you have to be open to learning each position, because each position in itself is as important as the next,
Sure. Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. And even if, by the way, that's not what you want to be doing,
Right.
it's like, this is where I am right now, so I'm going to learn, and then I'll have that information where I can use it later on as I go to different levels, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
the issue that I have in my life is I'm never satisfied. And that's sort of meaning like I'll get to one spot and then I want to go to the next spot. Like I'm never satisfied with, like, what do they say? They say the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. So
now that you're starting to direct, you'll basically be like, yeah, but I don't own a studio yet.
no, I do not want to own a studio. No.
I wish you did. We'd
But
be done with this right now.
I do want my own production company.
Yeah, yeah.
So
There you go. Well,
there you go.
I'm sure that will happen. So what is CSI? Where did you end on CSI as far as?
I got to first AD a little bit on CSI.
You did, and
I
just
did.
so because I was so from a PA, the next thing is what, a second AD is usually
It
the jump.
depends. So you go from a PA and then you go to either a base camp AD, or you go to, which is an additional second, or you do a second,
So
which
the
is on
additional
set.
second is like running base camp and
Yes.
make sure all the actors are in makeup
Yes.
and et cetera, et cetera. And mostly the additional second usually works mainly with the actors.
No, the additional second usually, it depends. They could, as an additional second, you can check in background.
Okay.
You work in base camp usually.
Yeah.
It depends on the position and what people are doing.
Yeah, because that's a whole
depends
part
on
of
the
it
show, I should
that I'm
say.
like, I know that they exist, but I
They
don't
do.
see them very much, except sometimes they'll come on set and I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
I'm the additional second. What do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like that's a whole nother world I don't know about.
No.
So additional second, and then you become a second on set,
Yes.
and then you become a second AD, and then you become a
Yes.
first AD.
That's right.
They
That's
couldn't
right.
come up with different names for these things.
Well, in Canada, it's first AD, second AD, third AD.
That makes more sense, right?
It absolutely does.
Anyway, but
On CSI, I was a PA, and they would let me go do. I had turned in my PA days. I collected a bunch of PA days, and I gave it to the DGA. And I said, "Here are my PA days. I would like to join the DGA." I was on this thing called the third area, which means that I could work in Los Angeles as an AD, but only in really low budget stuff.
I see.
I couldn't work on like a CSI when I was a third area AD.
So it's like an entry level position,
That's right.
but it doesn't basically threaten the people who are already working in
Correct.
that classification.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I would PA on CSI, and then they would let me go do third area AD stuff in LA.
Oh, just
so-
other jobs that you got. Like I
Yeah,
need
they were
Thursday off
amazing
or
for me.
something.
I mean,
That's
they
great.
changed my life.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And but I'm sure that was just because you hustled and you did a good job, and they wanted to see you succeed, right?
I still keep in touch with 95% of the human beings that I work with.
That says a lot.
Or I have worked with.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know. This business is so small.
It is.
You never know who you're going to walk on set and see the next day.
There's no question. I've said it before on this. I've shown up on commercials where the director has come up and said, "Oh my gosh, I knew they were calling you, and I'm so excited you're here." And I'm like, "I don't know who you are." And then like, we did that commercial 2 years ago where I was a PA and literally, and now he's directing commercials, and
Yep.
it's just like, okay. And he said, I heard they needed Steadicam. We were in LA, and I was like, let's call Dave. He was so fun to work with. And there you go. You
Yep.
never know.
You never know.
Yep.
Eva Longoria, I actually, thinking of that story that you just told,
Mm-hmm.
I got a call. She had asked me to come do a L'Oreal commercial with her, and I hadn't talked to her in probably 10 years.
You mean more recently?
No, this was probably 6 years ago, 7
But you were a
years
first AD by then.
I was a second AD.
Second AD. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and I hadn't seen her in years.
Yeah.
And she gave me the job as a second with her on a commercial.
That's great.
It's crazy. And then I have more stories about her. Like
Yeah?
we always seem to pop up into each other's lives. So I went from CSI. I got into the DGA on CSI. I became a second on CSI. I got health insurance.
Huge.
Huge. I had a child on CSI as an AD. I was like 36 weeks pregnant.
About 36
And months, that would be a long time. 36 weeks pregnant.
And still working.
And then Stephen Felder, I'll never forget it. He's since passed away. He was the UPM on CSI. He walked up to me. He's like, you gotta go home. It's 36 weeks. Like, we love you, but
I can't do this
come back.
anymore.
Yes,
I know
please.
I know you can do this, but I can't do this anymore.
Yes.
One of my first ACs, Michelle worked until she was like a week away from having a kid, and she would pick up the camera, and finally I was like, Michelle, I know you can do this. I can't do this anymore.
Yep.
And her husband's behind me going, thank you. But she would have worked up. She would have been like, listen, I'm going to build the camera, and my water just broke, and I'm going to go have the baby, and then I'll be back to full focus. I mean, amazing. Yeah.
That's crazy. I think, so CSI was very pivotal in my life and all of the people that I worked.
How many years did you do total?
I believe I came in on season 8. I did not do 9 or 10. And then I did 11, 12, and 13.
Wow. So it was a bit. Yeah.
It was a bit.
And
I mean, at the time, it was like 24 episodes, 22 episodes.
It
was like a grind.
Not like now. It's not like 8 episodes. Yeah.
So you could do a
think
whole
back
year.
to doing those shows, and it's like, that was 9 months of work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
just
great, but it was also like, by episode 22, you were just like, ugh.
It
And I
was
don't know
rough.
about you, but the thing with me was we would finish the last day of the last episode, and I knew that the next day I would be sick. I would get sick. It's like your body goes, you're done. Like we're taking over. And I would get sick for like 2 days, and then it happened every year. It was amazing. So were you like a first AD by the time you got out of there?
No.
You had just done some first AD.
They had allowed me to, first AD.
Like splinter units and stuff or whatever.
Yeah. So I sort of got my feet wet that way. And then when I would go try and like get my DGA days, as they're called, as a third area AD, I was lucky enough to be able to first a couple of the little like Hallmark movie things that I did.
Okay.
And that helped me just sort of learn what that was like.
Yeah.
So I was still a second AD or second AD when CSI ended. And then I ended up going to a show called Murder in the First.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Carolyn James was the producer. She's a big person in my life, too.
Yeah.
Stacy Murphy from CSI was, I believe she was one of the first ADs. Dan Shaw was the first AD on that show. Daniela Eisman, who's now directing.
Eisman is now a great director.
Yeah, she's now directing. She was the first AD.
Oh, that's funny. I've met her through you because I think you brought her in on Hollywood for extra days or something.
She came in on Hollywood. Yeah. I don't think I brought her in. I think I just gave her name.
Well, I was going to say your name. You probably got it in there.
She's a lovely human being too. And then. What did I do? I've done so many shows that everything.
But is Murder in the First where you sort of moved up to firsting?
No, I was still a second and a second AD. Okay. So Carolyn, I worked with her on Murder in the First. She was like, I'm going to go do this new show after the show's done. It's called Secrets and Lies. It was like some big show on ABC. She's like, I'd like to move you up. I'd like you to become the full-time second AD on this show. Stacy is going to go be a first on it. I'm like, great. So I did that. It was like my first show as a second, and I was like, holy shit, this is so much work. I do not even know what I got myself into.
But you'd done it before, hadn't you?
There's a big difference. Like, I had, but there's a big difference from coming in and doing day playing and doing other things than taking on a giant show for network television with huge actors.
And just for anybody who doesn't know, what does a second AD do?
Everything.
Okay.
No, they literally organize everything that happens on the day of shooting. So they make the call sheet, they make sure everybody shows up on time, they make sure that actors have all of the information, they make sure the crew has all the information. It's just, you are the hub of production at that point.
Yeah. And when you got on that job and it was totally overwhelming, how'd you deal with that?
It was hard. I'm always. I always think that I can improve every single day. So every day something would go wrong. I would say, okay, well, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
I would learn
Learn from your mistakes.
from my mistakes. And I had so many mistakes on that show. Oh my God. But I made it through, and we shot it, and it was done, and everybody was happy, and I moved on to the next.
Do you find that when you either make a mistake or something, or you're worried about making a mistake, that more often than not, it's worse in your own head than it is to the rest of the world?
95% of the time. That, I feel like you're in my head right now.
But I think anybody who's good does that, because we're our own worst critics, right?
It is a very weird place to be in my head.
So how do you get
given
outside
day.
of that and not let it? Because the problem is when it gets going, right? It like steamrolls, and then you actually are screwing up as bad as because you're worried about it, and then you're worried about it, and you're.
Yeah. No. You just get to a point where you don't listen to the noises in your head.
You shut it out.
You
right?
have to.
Yeah.
If you have to just keep going, moving forward movement.
Again, it seems really simple, but it's actually really complicated. But I think for people who are getting into the business, that's the single hardest thing to do, because you actually either don't know or you don't think you know. And so you're setting yourself up for failure. And if you set yourself up for failure, you will fail. And so you have to go, no, I'm not, even though you don't know what you know.
Yeah, it's true.
It's amazing anybody actually gets
anything done
through anything.
I know.
Yeah, no, but it is sort of like, I'm just going to keep pushing the rock up the hill.
It's literally that is exactly right.
Yeah,
you just have to keep moving. You stop and you think about it, and I'm a complete overthinker. That's my problem. I overthink everything. But you just have to, one foot in front of the other. You'll get through it no matter what.
So even at this point in your career,
every day?
But you're saying you're an overthinker. Do you find yourself going, I need to stop this right now and just
time.
do the thing?
All the time.
Yeah.
If I find myself getting really frustrated on set for something that has not gone right, and I had this amazing plan, I have to stop myself. I either have to go take a walk and come back, or I have to center myself and move forward.
Yeah. It's an acquired skill. There's no question
it's hard.
about it. It is. Harder for some people than others, but for classic overthinkers, it's very hard.
Yeah.
So now you're an established second AD.
Yep. I went from Murder in the First to American Horror Story.
Okay.
That was hard. That was probably the hardest show.
This is like the original American Horror? Because there are like 52 of them.
No, this was the original. I think I came in and did season 6.
Okay.
And I did season 7.
And that's the Ryan Murphy world.
That's the Ryan Murphy world.
Which is not an easy world to break into, and they demand a lot.
Well, if you aren't good at your job, you're going to get run over.
Absolutely.
Because of the amount of talent that you are surrounded by every single day.
Yes.
It is mind-blowing how talented you have to be to work there.
Yeah.
It comes from the top. Everybody is talented. Everybody is as passionate as you are, and they're there to make the best product they can make. Mm-hmm. So that was a huge eye-opening experience for me.
Did you work with Andrew Mitchell on that?
I did not work with Andrew on that.
No, he doesn't do American Horror Stories, actually, now that I think about it.
I worked with him on Ratchet.
On Ratchet.
I love him very much.
Fantastic operator.
Oh, my God, he's
and
so
a fantastic human being. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
An equally fantastic human being.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. I went from that to, I was a second on that.
Okay.
And then I went to, Carolyn James called me again. And she said, let's go do the Mick, which was on the Fox lot. I literally went from Horror Story one day, on like a Friday I finished, to Monday, that next Monday to the Mick, which was a 30-minute comedy for Fox. Mm-hmm. And, that was one of the hardest things I've done too. 30-minute comedies are not easy.
And 30-minute comedy, like single camera or not 4-camera, multi-camera, right? Like a single camera, it's shot like a narrative.
Yes, shot like a narrative.
Yeah. Why?
Because everything was being rewritten on the spot.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
Literally,
the jokes land
and you'd get 900 notes, and you do a stunt every day.
Wow.
I was a second on that. Everything changed every time. Everything changed at Rap. It was just the nature of the beast. Yeah. It was with Caitlin Olsen, who is an incredible human being as well. That was on Fox for a couple of seasons. I think we did 2 seasons. Stacey Murphy Gold was the first AD the first season. The second season, and Carolyn was the producer. Stacey moved up to UPM, and I moved up to first AD.
Oh, so that's where you got your...
That's where I got my
Wow.
my
So
start.
you said second season?
Yes.
So you'd sort of been there, you knew people, you knew the drill.
Yes.
You knew how crazy it was going to be.
Yes. I knew the drill. I knew how crazy it was going to be, but I did not realize what I was getting into.
Yeah.
I remember that first episode as a first, and scheduling and all the meetings and everything that I did. I was like, well, this is way different than anything I've ever experienced in my life.
Firsting or firsting that show?
Firsting.
Firsting.
Firsting, being a full-time first AD is very different than being a first AD coming in and day playing or just doing an episode or whatever.
So there was just a lot more that you didn't realize you had to deal with.
Yeah, there's a lot more to learn.
Yeah.
So
and so how did you deal with that?
my first episode was rough. I'll never forget it. I was like, did I actually do the right thing? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should go figure out a new career. That's literally what I thought.
Wow.
The last day, it was a 5-day episode, day 5. But then it just got better. But the thing is, when you're surrounded by people that care about you,
Yes.
and that are nurturing and respectful, even if you screw up, you learn from your mistakes, and then you keep moving forward. And then the next episode was better. And then I did odds. I did 1. Episode 3 was better. Episode 5 was better.
Yep.
Episode 7 was fantastic. And then I was like, okay, well, yeah, I guess I
can do this.
I figured it out.
Do you think, looking back at that first episode, do you think it was that you thought that you were completely screwing up, or that other people were like, you need to do this better?
It was all
internal.
It was internal.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm sure I was screwing up though, of course, but yes.
They kept you.
They kept me.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful that they kept me.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful to Carolyn and Stacey. I will always be grateful to both of those women. I'm telling you, this business is all about confidence.
There's no question about it. It's about confidence, and it's about fake it till you make it.
That's right. Fake it till you make it.
Which is confidence. It's a weird kind of confidence, but it's basically like, I can BS my way through this.
I mean, you know as well as I know, we've worked with quite a few fake it till you make it people.
We've even worked with quite a few people who were just like, they're not even faking it. They're just
No,
making it.
they're just making
and they're
it.
making it because everybody else is doing it for them.
Right.
Which drives me nuts, but that's another podcast for
Yep.
another time. That's a podcast called People That I Really Don't Want to Work With Again.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, wow. And how long of a period what was that whole ride from PA to first AD?
Oh, God, 10 years.
10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get fired during that time?
Have I ever gotten fired? I have never gotten fired.
Good for you.
Ever. On one, knock on wood. Where's some wood?
You're not gonna get fired at this
I've
point.
never gotten fired.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. I always ask that. Well, I don't. I always intend to ask that question, but I forget sometimes because it's always interesting to hear what people do with that.
Yeah.
Like how do you deal with that? I've been fired twice, and once just sort of pseudo. It didn't work out. And it is interesting what it does to you mentally and how you come back from it.
You know what? I'm sorry. I was wrong. So I didn't actually get fired. I was a second on a Bon Jovi video. I had worked 23 hours, and they didn't ask me to come back the next day because I didn't get the director a cup of ice in a timely manner.
Well,
because
you deserve not to be asked back. I mean,
I had been running base camp.
Oh my God.
At the time, and it was 900 degrees out, and the band was literally melting. Bon Jovi was literally melting, and I was dealing with that whole debacle of their makeup and everything else, and I did not get him a cup of ice in the timely fashion. So I did not get asked back the next day.
I'm going to cut this out of the podcast because I think if people hear this, they're just not going to hire you as a first AD anymore because that's just unacceptable. But like you said, like that's this business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did great on all this stuff, but you didn't do this one thing. So like,
I know.
see you later. That's incredible. And you know that's why you weren't hired back? That's amazing.
Well, because that was the only thing that didn't go right that day. Everything else was fine.
Wow.
We shot downtown in I think the 3rd Street Tunnel, and we had like,
This is when music videos were massive too.
yeah, we
right?
had
And Wayne
like
Isham, I
a
mean, massive.
1,000 extras that day.
Oh, this was a big concert
Yeah.
down there. I got
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there was some radio station that had a big contest. And,
Yeah, come down and be in the video or whatever.
yeah.
God,
It was crazy.
And everything went well, but you didn't get a cup of ice for someone.
I know.
Well, there you go, and you've been paying for it ever since. So how long have you been first ADing for?
I think the Mick has been. I haven't been a first AD for that long, to be totally honest with you.
Oh, geez, now it comes out.
No, I mean,
When was the Mick?
2015, I think.
Well, if you cut out COVID,
Yeah.
I guess actually.
I guess 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. That's
pretty good.
Significant
pretty
enough.
good.
Well, you wouldn't know it.
No,
to
I've
work with you, so.
sort of figured it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I figured it out pretty quickly. And my job, a lot of it is about having to deal with personality.
That's the entire business, though, right?
Correct.
I mean, it's funny. One of the things that I've talked to people about is, especially if you day play, when I get the call sheet, which one of you have made up so nicely,
Yep.
the first thing I do is I go, okay, who's the dolly grip? IMDb. Do I know anybody who's worked with them? Who's the first AC? IMDb. Do I know, and you go down. We all play that game, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you just want to know who you're working with.
Yep.
And then when you get on set, you're sort of poking people a little bit to figure out, like, okay, who do I work with? I mean, the first time we worked together, I remember, because I came in on Hollywood
Yep.
with Simon Dennis,
Yep.
and I think I was replacing someone, or someone
Probably.
laughed, or I was replacing someone, but I think someone
Yep.
laughed or whatever. But I came in on like a Friday, so you guys, it's like the car drives by and I jumped in the door.
Yep.
And I remember, we were all sort of going like, oh, okay, well, and I remember it very specifically, and not in a bad way, but you were trying to figure out, like, okay, does this guy know what he's doing, or doesn't he know what because you want to know what trouble you're in, right?
Of course.
And someone who's new there. But we got along famously, and we've worked together many times ever since.
I remember we were doing I Knew I Loved You during Hollywood, but specifically when we were shooting the Academy Awards.
Oh, God, that was massive.
Massive.
We had like 6 cameras or something
We
like
had
that.
7
Yeah.
cameras going at the
7,
same time.
yeah.
We had 7.5 pages of dialogue, and we had like 300 background,
Yep,
and we had 18 actors.
that's right. That was massive, and it went on for days. Oh,
Yep.
God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
But having the respect of your crew is important, and also having the respect of your camera operators. Do you know? Like, being a camera operator is such a hard job. I can't even imagine doing that.
I'd say the same thing about being a first AD, but
I mean, you just have to let people do their jobs and respect them for their talents and what they do.
yeah.
And I always knew, like, working with you, how good you were.
Thank you.
But I didn't realize it really and truly until that moment.
What was it? I don't remember. I mean, I remember the days.
We
but
had like a crane on stage. We had 6 other cameras working. We had a crane, and you were just completely calm the whole time.
Oh.
You did not freak out. You knew exactly.
You were probably like, look, I'm freaking out for both of us. So you
I
can't
didn't.
freak
I
out."
didn't.
No, you weren't.
No, I can't.
But I can't even imagine like the psychological
It's
weight
all
of a
internal.
day like that.
Yeah, it's all internal. Like
Yeah.
my
No,
brain.
You're cool as a cucumber. on
You
set.
have to be. It's like fake it till you make it. I'm faking it. I'm literally freaking out inside, but I can't show it outside.
But I think there's a lot to what you're talking about with being a camera operator, where like they'll come to you with these big things, and you honestly don't know how it's going to work, but you just go, yeah, we can do that, and then you turn around to your team, who are hopefully great,
Yeah.
yours being the production team and mine being dolly grips and camera assistants. You go, okay, how
Yeah.
the hell do we do this?
Yeah.
But I think that's part of it. It is fake it till you make it. But let me ask you this. So you work very closely with the camera operators.
Yes.
And what are the things that you look for in a good camera? Like when someone is a good camera operator who works well with you, what does that mean to you?
Communication.
Communication.
Communication is a huge thing.
Like on what level?
The director will give you direction, right? They'll say, okay, I want this. Maybe a couple cameras pointed towards, I don't know, towards the audience.
Yeah.
You have to come up with a shot. And then you have to communicate that shot to me. so that I can communicate the shot to my team.
So it's making sure you're in the loop, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because sometimes like those things will happen as sidebars, and then
All the time.
you're not there.
95% of the time, it's a sidebar.
Yeah.
You know, shit, I don't know. It's just about respect, man. It's just about being, it's just about letting people do their jobs.
Well, and I think there's something to what you're saying about the fact that this is how I try to look at being a camera operator. I mean, that part of it, it's understanding that you have all sorts of things that have to happen, many of which I don't know about.
Yeah.
And so that if you're taken by surprise, it's actually selfish, because if you're taken by surprise, it's going to screw me up.
Yeah.
Somehow, because an actor's not going to be ready, or, I didn't know we were looking over there, or whatever. So, but I mean, the reality is, as a camera operator, I try to do that with everybody. I try to do that with the boom operator, the dolly grip, because everybody needs to know. And sometimes this information comes in. But working with you, you'll also come up to me and go, I just want to let you know, I just overheard the director saying that I think we're going to do this next, so just be ready for that, or whatever. Yeah. So it's a complete team effort, right?
100%.
And those are the best situations. This may be a prickly question, but I'm going to ask you, and you tell me honestly what you think. There is this concept that the camera operator needs to run the set. And I'm wondering what your response. You've heard of this before,
of
right?
Of course.
So what is as the first AD who runs the set, what is your response to that? And then I'll tell you my response to that.
Oh boy. Okay. So, the first AD's job is to move the day along.
Yeah.
Right. Depending on who the camera operator is, it can. If you have a good relationship with your camera operator, you both work in tandem to move the day along.
Yep.
I don't think it's necessarily one person's job to do it. I think it is a team effort. Everything in this business is a team effort. It is not one human being on set. It is everybody collectively together on set.
Yep. Director,
DP, PAs. Everybody's working together for the same goal. To put that responsibility on one human being is crazy to me.
Yeah, agreed.
I've worked with camera operators that don't move the day along, and I have to push them. I don't like doing that. I don't want to push people.
Yeah.
I want us all to be on the same wavelength. I want us to go home. I want us to get our day done, and I want us to finish what we started, but do it and produce the best product we possibly can.
Yeah, agreed. My response to that has always been, my job isn't to run the set.
Mm-mm.
My job is to help make sure that the set doesn't devolve into chaos.
That's right.
and it's not my responsibility, but if it does, I'm partly responsible.
That could be said for the key grip. It could be said for the gaffer.
Exactly. I mean, I think the camera operator may be a little more in the center of it, because the director and the DP are obviously usually coming straight up to them and going, this is the next piece and whatever.
Of course.
But the AD as well. And so I've always sort of prickled at that, like the camera operator has to run the set. And I'm like, you don't have to run the set. There are people who run the set. I mean, pieces of it,
Yeah.
And so let me pivot. You were a second AD for a while.
Yeah.
So then, and I don't know which shows you were on that this applies to as much, but you were clearly involved with dealing with background.
Oh yeah.
A camera operators and B camera operators, and especially steady camera operators even more so, because you're moving through space much more, are heavily involved with dealing with background as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the best way? So one of the things that I've found that takes a while as an operator who's coming up through the ranks is figuring out how to deal with background and crosses and whatever, and deal with the second AD and not step on toes, but make sure things get done. Because sometimes there's not time to call over the second AD and say, hey, I've got to ask this person to do this or whatever. So sometimes you'll come over and go, hey, can you do this? And then you'll say to the second AD, I just want to let you know that person's going to pick it up early. But what can you offer to someone having been there? Either that's good that they can do, that's bad that they can do.
Be respectful of them, first of all.
This seems like a through story.
It is a through story.
No, but it's right. It is.
I recently shot a short film, And
That you directed.
I directed, yes. And I needed a bunch of background. And I called up, got a SAG waiver, everything was done correctly. I had background that I worked with 15 years ago come in and help me because I was so nice to them.
Yep.
So the one thing that I will say is be kind, be respectful. You never know who you're going to need help from. You never know who's going to be your boss. You never know who is going to hire you. That being said, background's sort of a touchy subject in a lot of ways.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, no. I think if you are a confident, secure AD, it doesn't matter if the camera operator moves the background because they're just trying to make the shot better. It's not personal. That's the thing. In this business, 95% of the time, it's not personal. But people take it so personally.
Yep.
It took me a long time to figure that out. Hey, sometimes I still take it personally.
I think
and
it's
shouldn't.
human nature, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I bring it up, because I've had this both when I was coming up and more recently. Sometimes I'll run into a second AD who I don't know if it's because of their personality or they've had a bad situation in the past, but it's sort of like, did you just ask that actor to put that thing down over there, that background,
Yep.
Yeah, because you have to go through me. And it's like, I understand that, but you were over dealing with something else. I'm trying to help you out. And I'm not, I don't want to step on your toes at all, but we all have to move forward here.
Of course.
And again, they take it as, I don't even know if it's personally, but they take it as sort of you're taking my job away from me.
Yes.
And that's always a tough one for me because I want to look at them and go, look, none of us are doing everything. There's nothing personal here. And usually what I'll do is I'll just go, first of all, I'm so sorry. I did not mean anything by this, but I didn't think that was a big change. But, and a lot of times I will say, and maybe it's not the right thing to do, I'll say to them, then you have to be by me the entire time.
And that you're not wrong.
Which
absolutely
they
not
can't
wrong.
be. And then it's sort of like, okay, so sometimes I may just have to,
Yeah.
And I, as an operator, I'm not an AD. God help me. Thank God I'm not an AD. I wouldn't want your job. But as an operator, one of the things that I'll always do when I come into a show is like, who's the second AD? And I'll try to, hey, anything you need, let me know. And who's the first AD? And anything, to try to let look, I'm here to like be an ally. And I think that's one of the things that I think that younger operators, that's like the low-hanging fruit, right?
Of course.
Doing your job well is tough, but you can always go in and go, how can I help you?
Yeah.
And I've been on some situations where people have come up and been like, I don't understand what's going on. What? Because they've worked with someone who's like, I'm never going to help you, and actually I'm going to try to screw you every time.
Oh man, I've worked with a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's that like is it just a constant battle?
Yes, it is a constant battle.
And how do you deal with that?
You just every show that I do, I try and take as much knowledge as possible to move forward. And I know it's another through line, but like it's all.
You got to come up with better answers.
I know.
But it is true. I keep saying, maybe this is my new catchphrase. It's actually really simple, even though it's really complicated.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do, but it's an easy answer.
Yeah.
It's right.
I mean, fuck, I don't know. What do? I just take in as much as I can take from each human being that I've worked with.
Yeah.
If it's good or if it's bad, I learn a lot from it being bad.
Yeah.
And I learn more times than not what not to do.
I think that's absolutely right. So I directed a little bit, and I remember someone who was sort of mentoring me said to me, watch directors because you will learn more from failures than you will from successes, because successes don't really stand out.
No.
And it's the truth.
It's very true.
You sort of have this little notebook and you go, okay, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that. And that's what when I've mentored people, I always tell like B camera operators is like, watch the A camera operator, watch what works, watch what doesn't work, And when it doesn't work, try to figure out why it didn't work. So you never do that. Right.
Yes.
And I think
it's all about.
But learning from your mistakes or learning from someone else's mistakes is actually better than learning from your mistakes. It's much better.
Yeah. I'm well versed in both. So.
Yeah.
And
then as a first AD, do you like how involved do you like an A camera operator to be in sort of helping you map out the day to make sure that
Oh, I love it. The more help, the better.
and so you don't find that like you're in
No.
you're in
No,
my area.
usually. Well, the one thing I will say about COVID, right? COVID, we had a bunch of new rules implemented.
Yeah.
Right. We now do a morning safety meeting every day.
That came about because of COVID?
We didn't have it before. I never did it before COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
I did
And
not.
we talked about what we were doing we talk about each scene.
Yeah.
And we talk about whatever special equipment or whatever we were doing.
Yep.
And everybody knew what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Before, you would just have a call sheet and you look at the call sheet and that was that.
I guess maybe I've lost track of that. It seems
Yeah.
like, or maybe some shows have it and some shows don't. But you're saying it's like you have to have it now since COVID.
Well, I think everybody, I have
Yeah.
implemented it
Yeah.
since COVID. So every show that I've been on, I've
Well, of course.
done it.
Yeah.
It just works out better that way. And if there is something coming within the day that we know is an issue,
Yeah.
we'll catch it early and start talking about it at the beginning of the day so
Yeah.
that when we get to that point, we're ready.
Yeah.
It's all about being ready for the next shot. It's all about being 5 steps ahead of where you're at.
Not getting taken by surprise. Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, because I know one of the things that early on, I remember you coming up and specifically sort of at the end of a day saying thank you, was that I would come up to you and go, hey, from what I understand, we have this master and then we have this thing and then it's
Yep.
a reverse, so we should start moving all those
Yeah.
carts and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I remember you like specifically going, hey, thank you for that because that
I
helps.
mean, it's all about teamwork, dude.
Yeah.
Always. It's all about the unit together. It is not about one human being. There is too much to do. There's too many moving parts. There is too much stuff within a film set that one human being can take credit for.
There's no question about that.
Just can't happen. It's
Yeah.
not, it just isn't how it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
everybody working together.
No, that's completely accurate. Because it's mildly controlled chaos. Sometimes
Yes.
not even controlled chaos. What about B operators? Anything?
I
about-
love B operators, man. B operators, when I was a second, they were so much fun. Nikhil Panzig, do you know who that is?
No.
He was a DP on All American
Okay.
and became a director. And now he's show running something for NBC.
Good for him.
He was the B camera operator on CSI.
Okay.
We used to have so much fun because I used to stand next to his camera. He would roll on something different than what the A camera was rolling on, and I could fix the background with him.
Yeah.
And we just had a great time. B camera operators are so important. There are more times than not, the B camera operator shot you use quite a bit.
Yeah.
They do the coverage, they do whatever it is that they're doing. Who was the great B camera operator we worked with on Justified? Gary, right?
Gary. Yeah.
Gary. I mean, he's
Gary Maloof.
incredible.
Yeah.
And the nicest man.
Gary was one of those B camera operators who I'd be setting up some great A camera shot, and I'd be like and I'd be walking around strutting, going, "I've got this great shot." And I walk over, "Hey, what do you got?" And I'd look and I'd be like, "Oh God, your shot is so much better than mine." And there's a lot of B camera operators I've worked with like that, and it's kind of the best and the worst because
best.
ego wise, you want to be psyched about your shot, and then you're like, "Oh, you're so much better than I am." But it also is like, there's not as much of a spotlight on them, so they could
Right.
sort of stealthily go, "Oh, I got this right here."
That's right.
And Gary would be like, he'd be on a sandbag next to someone's feet, looking across the way on the entire bar or something like that.
Well, he was also the camera operator on the
On the Bear.
The Bear.
Yep.
He did that episode.
So not only did you do that episode, and I don't know when this will come out, but on the website, which I never talk about, theop.io, I do something called the breakdown, and it's where camera operators show a shot and they completely dissect what it is. And Gary does so. So for anybody who's never seen it, it's The Bear. It's on FX Hulu, I think.
Yes.
And episode 7, season 1. So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the story because you'll like this. John Lindley is doing Justified and calls me into Chicago, says, "Come in, and we're going to get a local B camera operator." And he calls me up and he goes, "I got this guy, Gary Maloof. I've hired him. I just want you to meet him. So yeah, okay." So we go out, and Gary and I are talking, and Gary's just like, he's so kind and he's so quiet. And the funny thing is, and he's all tatted up and whatnot, but he's the nicest guy, and he's just And he's, his whole thing is, I'm so excited to work with you and John, and you've done so much. And I'm like, whatever, blah, blah. So, and he says, I said, what have you been doing? The show, The Bear. And he said, actually, there's this kind of long handheld shot that I did I'm really proud of. And he sort of told me a little bit about it, but that's all it was. So then we're shooting Justified, and, what are we, 6, 7 episodes in or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, The Bear dropped. And if you want to see it, it's episode 7. So I was like, yeah, I'll check it out and whatever. And I didn't. And then, for a while, and then at one point I was sitting at home and I texted him. I was like, what episode is that? And he goes, so I watch it, and it starts, and it goes, and it goes, and it goes. And then 17 minutes later, that shot stops, and it's the entire episode.
Yep.
And I called him up. I'm like, Gary, it's the whole episode. He said, well, I said it was long. I'm like, no, it's the whole episode. And it's great.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I called Gary up and I said, would you do a breakdown for me of it? And I haven't put it up yet because I want more people to know about the website when it goes up.
Yeah.
Because it's film school.
I can't wait to listen.
I'll send you a link of it.
Please.
And again, it's Gary. He's such an unassuming guy, and he's sitting there just talking, well, I didn't really know. We kind of made it on whatever. It's film school.
Yeah.
I mean, I sent it to some director friends of mine just to see what they thought, and they were like, I've never seen anything like this before.
No, it's crazy. He's a talented man.
He's so great. Yeah.
And humble.
Yeah, and humble. Yeah.
That's the one thing. You have to be humble.
Yeah.
So many people are not humble in this business.
Agreed. There's nothing more to say about that. That's absolutely right. We were talking about Gary, B camera operators.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Joel Schwartz is a great B camera operator. I worked with him on The Mick and on Murder in the First.
Uh-huh.
He's fantastic too. He's super communicative and just wants to make the shot better.
And it's weird because it's a really, I love doing B camera. It's almost harder to be the B camera operator than to be the A camera operator because you've got to find good stuff without upsetting the apple cart.
Right. You have to find a good shot without upsetting the apple cart. You have to be creative enough to figure it out.
Yep.
You have to be humble enough to move when the A camera needs to take your spot because 95% of the time it happens.
Yep.
And you have to be patient because you will find the shot. It's just going to take you a minute. You don't actually have a lot of time.
No.
95% of the time, the director is working with the A camera.
Yep.
And then the B camera is just sort of pushed to the side, and you have to be secure enough with yourself to find that shot.
Yeah.
Because nobody is going to hand it to you. That's the deal.
Yep. Absolutely. And like I said, and the A camera operator is usually monopolizing the second AD, going, I need that person over there and that.
That's right.
And the set decorator, this over there. And the B camera operator is kind of like, hey, if we could just do this or that. So it's weird. It's almost a harder position.
I mean, the B camera operator will take a PA and be like, can you go move like 4 background for me so that they don't, bust my shot.
Yeah.
So, but then wait till you get the C camera operator.
And
3 cameras is more. I prefer working with 3 cameras than 2 cameras.
Really?
I do.
Why?
I think because I feel like it's a faster pace. I feel like you get more with 3 cameras sometimes than you do with 2 cameras. I mean, sometimes it doesn't warrant it and you're all over each other, and sometimes it takes longer because you're trying to get the cameras all in the same position. But like you get more with 3 cameras than you do with 2, of course.
I'm not a fan of it just because sometimes I think it gets in its way. The one time that 3 camera thing sort of worked for me was on Hollywood when I first worked with you, and that's because I was on A. Brian Garbellini, great operator, was on B, and Mark, and I can't remember his last name, unfortunately, but a gentleman named Mark was on C camera. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I went in talking to Simon Dennis, the DP, because I came in while the show was already running. I was like, 3 cameras? And he's like, no. It's so A and B, we kind of did our thing. Yeah. And Mark would just find these like artistic, cool, and sometimes it would be for 20 seconds of the shot, but it would be great. And it was what worked about it was we weren't trying to we're going to get 3 pieces of coverage all at the same time, because that sometimes can be a train wreck. Yeah. But he was actually, it's sort of like he was getting the sauce.
It was fun, man. I did a lot of Ryan Murphy. He did a lot of 3 camera, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then when COVID hit, we got we couldn't use 3 cameras
Yep.
because of all the
Yeah.
COVID restrictions. But for Ratchet in Hollywood, it was all 3 camera all the time.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was fun. I prefer it.
Yeah, I get it. No, I mean, in those situations, I think it works. Sometimes it's a nightmare. And it depends
Yeah.
on the people. And also, he was really precision with going, I know exactly what I want. I'm going to quietly mention it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out for you, I'll just go to the,
Yeah.
he wasn't trying to push himself in there. And that's what you kind of have
No,
to be.
humble.
But you said you work with Andrew Mitchell, who's been on this show.
I love Andrew Mitchell.
Tell me why you love Andrew Mitchell.
He is the kindest man you will ever meet. He is quiet and so, I'm going to swear here, he's so fucking talented.
He is.
He's so smart. He's just a really good man. He's a really, really, really good human being.
Is there anything as an operator that he does that other operators can learn from, that I can learn from?
He doesn't do the same thing twice. He's constantly trying to make the shot better. I mean, you don't do the same thing twice either.
I just forget what I'm doing.
No, but he finds the shot. He always finds a shot. He could be. I remember specifically working on Ratchet with him. It was like my second day. Ryan was directing.
Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy was directing. We were in this doctor's office on set, and it was a Steadicam shot. And Andrew had that Steadicam on his back. I don't even know. We probably did 20 takes, 15 takes. Every single time he did it, it was a little bit different, and it was better each time he did it.
That's amazing. Doesn't surprise me at all.
No, he was sort of like a machine in that way. He's just an incredible talent, man. And he on that show was a DP too.
Yeah.
He got an episode.
Yep.
And now he's a DP.
Now if you ask him, he hasn't hung the rig up yet.
No?
He's not willing to do it yet.
Oh, no.
I asked him about it, and he said it's the same reason why I still have a cabin in Utah. He goes, I always want the backup plan. I was like, you don't need the backup plan, but he'll get there.
Oh, he's such a good guy,
but
man.
he's a talented guy, and he deserves everything he got. I said it on the podcast with him, but he was my assistant on Dead Man's Walk, which was the 4th lowest rated miniseries of all time, not the really highly rated movie, in Utah. And I'd never met him. No, sorry, in Texas. And I'd never met him before. And he was I was the big camera Steadicam operator, and he was my assistant. And on the weekends, he said, hey, I'm interested in Steadicam. Would you teach me, would you let me put the rig on? And so on weekends, we would run around with it.
Wow.
And so I told him in the podcast, I was like, so basically, I pretty much am taking credit for all of your everything you've done. But he's a great operator and a great human being, like you said, which I think it's 50% of it, right?
For sure.
Because
sure.
I know some other operators I've worked with who I just don't like being around.
Yeah.
And it's like I'd much rather have someone who's not as great but want to be around them than someone who's unbelievable and you don't.
And you don't.
Yeah,
he's just super humble, and he's quiet and doesn't talk a lot, and but when he does, it's important.
Yeah.
And you listen to him.
Yep.
He's not going to waste your time. That's the whole thing with him. He doesn't waste your time.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
What about operators working with second team?
Operators working with second team. So usually, for me, I like to watch second team rehearsals so that I know what's coming.
Yeah.
And I know what I can say to the actors when they come on to set. It depends on whatever operator I have, because like with you will explain to the operator. You, as the operator, will explain to the actors what the shot is. If it's not you, I usually do that.
Yeah.
And the only way that I can do that is if I watch second team. So I see what is happening.
Because you're seeing what we've changed
Correct.
while they've been out of the room.
That's right.
Yeah,
so we'll go and rehearse with the actors, and 95% of the time, the rehearsal will change with second team.
Yep.
And I have to, as my job as the first AD, communicate that to the actors.
It's so funny because I remember when we first started working together, I would go up to talk to them, and I would see you would go up to talk to them too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was mainly because I always sort of grew up like on ER or whatever,
Yeah.
that part of my job was to go, oh, by the way, we did. And you obviously did the same thing.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like, I wasn't sure. I was like, you want to tell him, or should I tell him, or whatever. But I'm not. Most other ADs that I've worked with
Don't do that.
don't do that. They assume that I'm going to do it. So I was kind of like, oh, okay.
Well, there's nothing worse than you bringing the actors in, you're doing last looks, you're doing all of it, you're ready to go, and then an actor says, "What's the shot? What are we doing?" There's nothing worse than that to me.
I don't disagree with it, although there's part of me that's like, you should probably know by this point.
Yeah, there's
but that's
that
another
too.
story.
But
I totally understand. So, as a second AD and as a first AD, you deal very closely with actors.
yes,
Is there anything you can offer younger operators about working with actors?
listen.
What do you mean?
Listen to what they have to say to you. It's all about making the actor comfortable in the environment so that they can produce the best product they can produce.
Yeah.
If they're uncomfortable in the situation, if they don't feel safe, if they don't feel taken care of, if they don't feel that they're being heard, it's going to affect their performance. And when their performance is affected, it affects everybody else. Right? We're all connected together.
Yep.
Working with you make the actors feel comfortable. You make the actors feel heard. You make the actors know what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? So as a operator coming up, I would say I would say have a rapport with the actors. Learn how to speak to them. Don't talk their ear off about like your personal life, but like, or I mean, you can if you want, but like,
Well, you get to that point.
you get to
don't
that
start
point.
at
That's
point.
what I mean by
Yeah.
it. Yes, you get to that point.
Yeah. I always think it's like, read the room.
Well, that's the thing. There's so many people in this business that can't read a fucking room.
It amazes me because it's all about reading the room.
Yes.
I mean, if you walk in and there's some method actor, you're not going to go up and be like, hey, I got to tell you what I did this weekend.
Right, because they'll look at you and
Get them off the set.
get them off the set.
Yeah,
That's right.
Absolutely. But it's a very succinct way of putting that. It's all about making them comfortable in that environment and making them feel safe.
Yeah,
for
it's all
lack of a
about
better word.
safety for them. It's
yeah.
all about them being comfortable in the space so they can do what they are supposed to do.
Yep. And the interesting thing for me, which you're involved in also as the first AD, of course, because we're both in very close proximity to them at all times, is I can be working with 3 actors on the same set, and each of them will have entirely different needs.
That's right.
One of them will want nothing to do with me.
That's right.
One of them will just want to literally go, hey, did you do anything good this weekend? And one of them will be falling to pieces and need you to help pull them back together.
That's right.
And it's all about and the reality is it's not just the actors, because it's like as an operator with a new dolly grip, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
what can you do and what do you need from me and how do we make this work?
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all interconnected. It's not one person. I'll say it again. It's not one person on a set. It's everybody together. Hey, before we go on to the next thing, I just want to mention somebody quickly. Simon Dennis is an incredible DP.
Great DP.
Amazing. Not only is he incredibly talented, he's the kindest man you'll ever meet in your entire life.
I will concur with that. He's a super nice guy, a wonderful guy to work with. We worked together with him on Hollywood.
Yes,
That's
I've
where I
done
met him.
I've done a couple of shows with him, and he actually helped me shoot the short film that I directed recently.
Oh. Yeah.
He's just such an incredible human being, and he's so collaborative and kind and talented, and I just can't say anything more than like I don't even know what to say about him other than the fact that I love him so very much.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
But that's what happens in this business, right? Like you meet people and you're like, at first you're like, you're checking people out and then you're like, oh, I really like this person. Then you're like, oh, this person's really good. And then suddenly he's shooting your short and I'm sure you'll work together forever. But
I want to work with him for the rest of my career.
the other thing I'll say about Simon, whenever we're doing a shot, it doesn't make a difference what it is. He's just so excited about it. And he's always looking to make it better. He's just a pleasure to work with.
Always. He's an amazing human being.
A lot of times you'll come up and ask me how long we need. Actually, not a lot of times. You always ask me.
I do. Yeah.
How long is this going to take? Whatever.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're an up-and-coming operator and you just don't know because you don't
Say, "I
have enough
don't know."
information?
You say, just be honest and
Yeah.
say, I don't know yet. Give me 5 minutes. Let me figure it out. There's nothing worse than giving wrong information.
Yeah.
Wrong information is the worst thing that you can give. You have to just be honest. And if
Yeah.
they have a problem with the fact that you don't know, so be it.
Yeah.
You'll learn quickly. You'll also learn quickly if you give them the wrong information because sure enough, they will come up to you, as a first AD and say, hey, you told me 5 minutes. It's now 10 minutes. What's happening? Let's go.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
That's absolutely right. And there are times I know with you even where I've said, I know you don't want to hear this, but this is going to take 10 minutes or we can do it the other way and it's going to take 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I know you don't have either, but what do you want to do?
Yeah. I'll, inevitably huff and puff and say 10, but,
Yeah. But again, it's the reason I bring it up. It's like that's not what I want to tell you.
No.
I want to tell you, no, we can do this right now, but it's just not the truth.
Yeah.
And it's just going to make everything longer if I don't tell you that, because then you can't then go, okay, it's going to take 10 minutes, so you know what? Let's keep the actors in makeup for another 5 minutes so they're not standing on the set or whatever whatever you have to do there.
Yeah, it's a giant puzzle.
Yeah.
Every day.
Because I've been in this situation before, and other operators will be in this situation again, and I will be in this situation again. What do you do when the director and the DP, or in your case, by the way, the director and the operator, or the director and the or the DP and the operator are not hanging out well together?
You have to be the calm within the storm. You cannot, as a first AD, freak out. You have to be the neutral party. You have to hear both sides of it.
Yeah. And
you have to treat each person the same. It's hard. It's so hard because 95% of the time you see why, 100% of the time you see what's going on.
Yeah.
You see what is right and what is wrong. And unfortunately, in order to get through the day, you have to be as diplomatic as humanly possible.
So the key is getting through the day, not really figuring out what's right and what's wrong.
No, you figure that out when you're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go talk to the producers and say, hey, this is what's happening, or whatever it's going to be. But at the end of the day, you want to get the work done.
Yeah.
It's rough when the DP and the director aren't getting along, or the operator and the DP are not getting along.
Do you sometimes have to take them aside and just go,
Absolutely.
look, we got to figure this out?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like to do it, but I have to.
And as an operator, let's say I'm a new A camera operator. If I'm experiencing that and I've tried a couple things,
Yeah.
can I come to you and go,
Of course.
do you have any thoughts on this? Because chances are you're going to have seen that, right?
Always.
'Cause
I see everything.
I figured you see
everything. There's not one thing that happens on that set that I don't see.
Yeah. And then you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but I'm just wondering. You said talk to the producers. Do you go back to the producers? Like if you have an operator that consistently is telling you it's going to take 5 minutes and it takes 20, do you eventually go back to
No.
the producers?
No.
What do you do with that?
I talk to the operator. Because if I go to the producers with something like that, that's a big deal.
I got you.
I'm not the type of person that's
I don't mean to get them in trouble, but I mean
No.
more to sort of go, look, there's a reason we're coming in late and I can't,
No.
this isn't working. Or do you go to the DP with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's who I would go to. I would
Yeah.
not go to the producers for
Gotcha.
anything like that.
Yeah.
No. I don't know if that's going to get me in trouble, but
No, but it makes sense because and even as an operator, like, look, there are things where I'll have to deal with an AC or whatever. And it's like, I'm not going to bring it up to the DP. I'm going to deal with it there because they've got so many things going on. I don't want to, I don't want to bring it to the next level. But there are sometimes, of course, when you have to bring it to the next level, unfortunately.
yeah, it depends on
But
what
usually that's
it
a
is.
DEFCON 4 situation.
Yeah. It's normally the DP is the one that I would go to and talk to them about whatever has
Yeah.
happened. And we figure out a way to work it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's only like DEFCON 4 when you have to go to a producer. That's when you know it's bad, is when you have to go to a producer.
Yeah.
So,
And what do you do on a situation where you realize that the operator and the like I've been in situations very, very rarely, but I've seen where an actor and an operator, like the actor just has a problem with them.
yeah,
Do you try to help that situation?
Yes, I try to. I've been there too. I've sort of insert myself in between them, and I try and buffer whatever I can buffer.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the story of my job,
Is buffering.
is buffering everybody's personalities.
Yeah.
So,
Does that get tiring?
yes, very much so.
So as a crew member, what's the best thing that we can do to make your job better?
I guess just respect my job.
Yeah.
Respect what I have to do because I'm surely going to respect what you do.
Yeah.
Work with me, not against me. Work together, be kind, and be respectful. And have fun. That's the thing. Like, what we do is so incredible. What we get to do every single day is not what most human beings get to do. Most human beings get to work in an office. They sit behind a computer for 10 hours a day and they don't like their job. I mean, what we get to do is amazing. We get to make movies and television. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. We get to be surrounded every day by talented people. We get to learn every day. I'm learning something every single day of a set that I'm on. You don't get to do that at work normally. I mean, that's the best part of what we do. You get to learn every day.
Such a great time talking to Michele. It's been way too long since we've worked together, and she is just so good at what she does and such a blast, and also like has such a great way of sort of explaining, the operator AD relationship, what she has to do, what operators can do to help ADs. Just there was so much to be learned from there. It was a real pleasure talking to her, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you like the podcast, please give us a 5-star rating, maybe write a review, maybe take a billboard out on Sunset Boulevard and throw us up there. Share us with friends, anything that'll help get the word out there. Website, of course, is theop.io, and the Instagram account is also theop.io. So please check us out, pass us around, get us out to friends, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.